Oi oi my drillers, and welcome to the world of Lost Ark to Arkesia! Woo! Okay, enough of that PTSD traumatic inducing music that we got from login screen at the start of the game, because for those of you that are veterans, you'll remember hearing that for hours as we had login queues. But for you new guys, there's no more login queues, so you can get right into the game. And today's video, I'm going to show you just how to get into this game. It's an amazing game. Let me get you started on your journey into Lost Ark. So the first thing I'd advise you doing when you start the game is, well, first of all, you probably go through, pick your server, do it based on your mates, maybe even do it based on me. Come to Cinevale. But yeah, no, most of all, just do it on what's going to be enjoyable. If you've got friends playing, definitely go and join them. But my first recommendation is look for a server you know you're not going to play. Okay? Let's take Trixion, for example. I'm not going to play on Trixion. What we're going to do here is I'm going to teach you guys how to make a test character, so you can kind of get a look at some classes and see what you're in for by the time, well, what class you're going to get when you've leveled it up, really. A rough experience of what happens with the class. So we're just going to go and make a warrior here. I'm going to call it BDC for Big Donny Cow. Test warrior, if I can spell. Gonna go okay. No customization. We want to do this on a server we're not playing, and you want to call it something, a name that you don't want to use, because when you delete the character, then you are gonna be locked out of that name for at least a day, because that's how the Lost Ark databases work. So we'll create this character on the random server. We'll log in straight away. We'll skip the cinematic because we don't care. And now we're gonna go do the little Trixion intro, which hopefully you won't see because I'm gonna edit this bit out until we get to actually testing the class. So now we go and click on the Tome of Prophecy and we get to see the main classes. So I picked the warrior class, and like these are the subclasses, which is what you actually be playing. So as you can see here, as a warrior, I've got like 4 different choices. You also come to notice that in this game there are supports, DPSs. That's what you got, with most supports being kind of healing and shielding supports, and then one support, the gun lancer, being a more tankier support. But as a warrior, it's pretty good because we can also see paladin, which is like one of the main shielding supports. This is one where you can kind of shield your allies, keep them safe. Now what you can do in this sort of test region is you can summon monsters and just play around with the abilities that are put on your bar. Unfortunately, you can't really change them, and not all of these are going to make it into your endgame build. I'd advise going and looking up a endgame build guide for classes you get interested in, and kind of judging the abilities you do have access to. Yeah, you can summon waves of monsters to test out. You can even summon a boss. Like, look at this. Oh, wow. Okay, that's an ability even I don't use in endgame, man. So that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, you can kind of just get a little feel for it. You can play around with Z and X abilities. So say here, I've used my Paladin's supporting aura. I don't know so much about Paladin because I do play it at endgame. Not my main though. And then when you feel you're satisfied with testing this class, what you can do is you can click try another class, and you can go through all of these as much as you want. Let's try the Destroyer. Here we've got a few more random abilities. As I say, not all of these are used in endgame. Builds will vary quite a bit, so take this tester with a pinch of salt. But this is just a way to kind of be like, yeah, I like the general feel of this class. I like the Z skill. Let's roll with it. And then when you're satisfied that you've tested out the class enough, what you can do, you can click end test. And if you want to go and test other classes, what you can do, you can just press escape, go to the character select screen, log off, make a test for every single thing. Test them all out. And you know, if this game would actually let me log out, there we go. There are going to be some classes you don't like, so you know, you'll be able to just instantly be like, you know what, no, not happening. And also bear in mind that as a free-to-play player, you only have access to 6 character slots, so make your choices wisely. If there's something you're thinking, it's okay, but I wouldn't really play it, then don't waste a character slot. I mean, later on you can delete the character, maybe use a power pass on what you want to play instead of it, which is what I'm going to be doing for a couple of my characters. But you do have to wait quite a while for events and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of like the only way to rectify a mistake without a really long time grinding. But yeah, I'd strongly advise doing every single class here. You've got your warrior, your mage, you've got your martial artist. Female though, just bear in mind, advanced class preview. We have war dancer, scrapper, soulfist, glaivier. But martial artist male, we have striker. So gender does change the amount of class you have available to you. You've got gunner male, gunner female, and assassin. So, you know, maybe your first 6 test characters will be these top 6, and then you'll think, yeah, I didn't like any of the classes to do with this class. Oh, sorry, any of the subclasses to do with this class. So I'll delete that and then test the assassin. Then boom, you can test out all 7 classes, all of the subclasses in the game before you commit to making a main. So as you go through the game, you are gonna have to do the story. You know, you've now made your character. Now let's get to work on that story. Now, what I'd recommend straight away before starting anything, open up your Google Chrome, your Opera, your Internet Explorer. Why the hell are you using that, mate? Come on. Any of those search engines and go to maxroll.gg and go look at their guides. Honestly, they've helped me out massively. Check out the leveling guide for your class, and then when you get to end game, maybe ask around some people to see what the preferred build of your class is. See how much of a difference there is between the 2 builds, and make your choice based on that. And that will get you to your end game build, which you can fully gear up, get your skills sorted, get your tripod sorted through the build. And then you can also do it for PvP builds as well, which, by the way, are completely separate. You do it all through this thing called the Book of Coordination, which I'll show you guys later. But yeah, you'll be doing the story, follow the guide. You only really want to be doing orange and purple quests. The yellow quests, you can literally just say, you know what, I think I'll pass. And if you're a bit unsure what the orange and purple quests are, because, I don't know, maybe you might be colorblind, you might just about be able to notice here that it has a slightly different emblem. As you can see, this is a yellow quest right here, this emblem. And then this emblem is an orange quest right here. It's not the most helpful thing I can say to zone colorblindness, but you'll find a way to adapt. Like, there are different icons, and if you look it up, you should be able to find it out pretty perfectly. But yeah, you just want to go through the story and get to level 50. And also, while you're on the way, join a guild. Speaking of guilds, let me tell you what a guild can offer you. Okay, so while you are leveling, you are gonna come across guilds. You get invited. Woohoo! I'm now a proud member of the Kinaya! Or some other guild. But so what can you do with a guild? So while you're still leveling, all you can do with a guild is do your daily guild donation. Now, what I would advise, never do gold donations, never do honor donations. Just do your silver. It's cheap, easy. And as you can see up here, I have an absolute surplus of silver, because as you play this game, you're just going to get way too much silver. And if you do ever run low, then there is a strategy to getting more silver through an island called Lopang Isle, or Island. Look that up, and it will tell you very easily how to do it. Maybe I'll do a guide on it. Probably not, because that information's already out there in the masses. If people ask for it, of course, more than happy to do any guides for you lot. And yeah, so with guilds, you can just do your daily donation. You can chat to your mates, you know, go and /G. Oi oi my drillers, what you saying? But when you do hit level 50 and you're no longer classified as a new guild mate, as you can see, follow streamer Jaxy EW, give him a follow. Right now he's classed as a new guild mate, so he can't actually do guild quests even if he was level 50. But when you are level 50, you can do guild quests, which can be accessed by hitting this button in overview, or just going to Una's task panel and going to the fourth button up top, and you can go and accept the guild quest. I'd always advise accepting the highest version of the quest, as that will give you the most bloodstones. Listen to this, bloodstones, which you also get from donating, which will allow you to buy from the guild shop. What's the guild shop gonna get me, you may be asking? Well, let me show you, my drillers. Let's head on to the Punica guild shop, and look, you can buy XP, you can buy silver, you can buy lots of different honing materials, you know. You can get your shards, your destruction stones, your guardian stones, and your harmony leap stones, all four of which are essential for gearing your character. You can also get entrance tickets into stuff like the Cube, a boss rush, bro, it's a bit more RNG with that sort of stuff. You can get bonus upgrade material, which just increase the chances of upgrading your gear. And you can get these Powers of Stage, which is used as a tier 3 endgame thing to basically increase the effectivity of your tripods. And yeah, the guild shop really is worth it. When you get to the stage armor, you want every material you can get. So start stockpiling as soon as possible. And now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about honing. Oi oi my drillers, welcome back. Now I'm going to show you guys about honing. I say welcome back, but with my editing it's just going to be a fluid video. So maybe I should stop being such a cretin. But here, this is honing for some leg pieces, some pants. As you can see, what does it require? Well, we need guardian stones, leap stones, shards, and silver. And then for the weapon, we need destruction stones instead of guardian stones, and then the other 3 items I just listed. Now, those of you who are actually watching the video and not just listening will see that there's also a gold cost and a third little material here. And well, as a new player, you won't have to worry about this for quite a bit of time, but this third material is fusion material. You don't get this in tier 1, you get first introduced this in tier 2. Now, traditionally, what you would do in the game is you would farm the materials with life skills, and then go to a stronghold and craft some. But it would cost gold, and if the gold prices for crafting is around the same as what it is on the auction house, then let me tell you, mate, more profitable for you to just buy it off the auction house. Takes less time, much less energy. Buy it off the auction house and then funnel it into your gear. And then gold, you'll be able to farm this from doing your Una's task and claiming your weekly coins. We're doing Abyssal Dungeons, which is most profitable in tier 3. However, you can do some very low rewarding ones in tier 1 and 2, which as a new player is definitely worth it on your first character. No doubts about that. Start getting your gold in because it's really useful. You can also exchange gold for blue crystals to buy your crystalline aura for free. That's right, don't have to pay any subscription. Get it for free. Completely free to play, my drillers. And then I'm guessing one other question you might have is why did the crystals change? So you only need destruction stones for your weapon. That's the only thing in the game that consumes destruction stones. Everything else, your armor pieces, which is headpiece, shoulder piece, chest piece, leg piece, and hand piece? Gloves. We stick with gloves. All those 5 armor pieces will take guardian stones, which is why you do get quite a lot more guardian stones than you do get destruction stones. And the final system you're going to notice when upgrading is you don't have a 100% chance to upgrade your gear. You might see in this text Artisan's Energy. When this reaches 100%, when you next spend the materials on the upgrade, boom, instantly you've got it. But don't be put off, okay? To start with, the chance of you upgrading your gear is 100%. Then towards the end of a tier, it gets a bit lower. But it's still very, very high. Those materials I talked about earlier that increase your chance of upgrades, such as Star's Breath, Moon's Breath, Sun's Breath. You know, you can get them from doing an event called the Cube. Very easy to do. Just matchmake it, run in with randoms, bish bash bosh, and you can almost guarantee an upgrade. But you don't have to do that. You can just brute force it by sending materials in and in and in and in, and you will climb the tiers. Now, you're sitting there asking, but Cal, where do I get my upgrade materials? Aside from the guild shop, which I just showed you. Let me show you. So, where you get your upgrade materials. I'm just gonna say this straight off the bat. You can get some from PvP, and it is decently profitable. I personally do it, as I love playing PvP in this game. But you're not forced to. I will address the vendor in the PvP section of this video. So, if you want to see more in depth of that, wait until then. And of course, I've already shown you the guild shop, so that should help. But you're going to have to be doing your dailies to get most of your upgrade materials. Now, what dailies do you have to do? Well, you have the Chaos Dungeon, the Guardian Raids, and the Una's tasks. Wait. Okay. What do you mean it's too much for one day? Okay, maybe I see how you're right. What, you only have about half an hour to play every day? You know, you're already playing other games, already grinding World of Warcraft or something? Maybe you're just trying to get that sweet boss kill in Path of Exile and you need to farm exalts for a couple hours. Hey, not to worry about it, dudes. This simple strategy will mean you only have to spend, what, like half hour tops? I mean, less normally, each day. So, what is it, you might ask? Day 1, do your Chaos Dungeons. Day 2, do your Guardian Raids. Day 3, rest. Or you could use it as an Una's task day. Up to you. So, what does this entail? Well, first of all, let me tell you what these dailies are, because you're probably confused as hell. So, Chaos Dungeons, you can see denoted by this little marker on the map. You go in, and it's basically a multi-wave, kill enemies, bish bash bosh, have fun destroying things. You do it twice per day. And if you miss out, you gain, well, if you miss out on the day, you gain rest bonus, which is why the strategy I just listed is viable, as you'll still be getting all the rewards, even if you miss out 1 or 2 days. And by having like 2 days missed, you're actually going to empower both of your Chaos Dungeons. So, yeah, no reason not to do it. You also notice your Aura of Resonance. This, you consume 50 per run. And that's why you do 2 Chaos Dungeons a day. You do more, which you can do. You can re-enter even if you don't have any Aura of Resonance. You get a different material, which you can go to the vendor normally next to the statue and buy some stuff. So like tier 1, buy some jewellery, and you can buy your upgrade materials for honing, and you can also buy engraving pouches. Pretty good, but that's a one-time per account purchase. Same with tier 2, same with tier 3, you know, you can buy all the stuff you need to get your upgrades. In the early 2 tiers though, you can't buy any cube materials, only tier 3 you can do that. But yeah, that's what happens if you keep doing it over and over again. Now there's Guardian Raids, they don't quite work in the same way. You only do Guardian Raids twice in a session. If you do it again, it's literally only for practice. You get nothing from repeating Guardian Raids. It's just not worth your time at all. But you'll go in and you'll fight a singular boss. So I'd recommend running the raid builds that will be listed on Maxroll for your class. Pick the best for your class as well. So like Shadow Hunter, I'd recommend Demonic Impulse. However, Perfect Suppression is still perfectly viable. And yeah, just go in, bish bash bosh bosh, fight the boss. Always want to do it either matchmaking or find party with Guardian Raids. Chaos Dungeons you want to do solo with the Chaos Dungeon build on Maxroll. So you just press enter on Chaos Dungeons. But with Guardian Raids, always do matchmaking or find party. Now, you can find Guardian Raids on your map, denoted by this red banner. Unfortunately, it's the same as Abyss Raids, so, you know, if you're colorblind, you're gonna have to do a bit of reading when you come up to the banner. But walk up to the board, and yeah, this Guardian Raid here is your daily one. Now, at the moment, there are some weekly ones, Challenge Trial Guardian Raids, which you tackle in the same manner, but you only do it once a week. Yeah, they're pretty good to do. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is Una's tasks, but I've got a little trick to show you for when you get later in the game, so I'm just going to quickly relog. Give me a sec. So, Una's tasks. What are they and how do I get to them? Well, you press Alt-J and here it appears. You want to be doing these to fill up this little bit on the side. This is how you get your gold. You fill this up, you claim all on your main. Always on your main. Claim it on your main, okay? Because it's an item that sits in your bags. Claim it on your main. And then you go to a vendor and redeem it for gold. I'd always advise buying the 500 Una token gold chest, as that will give you the most value for your time. But essentially what Una's tasks are small daily quests and weekly quests, and then also the guild quests I showed you earlier. Now, for daily quests, there's a pretty easy thing you can do when you get to tier 2.5, and that's just pick up these 3 quests in Phaeton, and, you know, while you're already in Phaeton, or even when you're, like, in Punica, you could just take the ocean liner to get to Phaeton, and then quickly do these, and then take the ocean liner back, or do whatever you want to get back, when you're in tier 3. And, yeah, it's a really easy way to get your leap stones from your Una tasks. Now, I know, okay, you new guys, you're probably thinking, well, Cal, that's useless for me. I can't do that for quite a while. So, let me tell you what to look out for, just in general. When you're picking your Una's tasks, see this little icon here, the leap stones? You want to look out for leap stones. You want to get the Una's task that will give you the most leap stones, and you kind of have to figure this one out for yourself, unfortunately, for the smallest amount of time. Usually it'll be like quests that are around you on islands. There are some, like, there's a Una task on the island of Alakir. Alakir is not up permanently, so you gotta look out for islands that are up permanently, which you can very easily check. Go to your map, go to open sea, and let's look for Alakir. Here it is. We'll find it here. Click, and then you'll see, there's an admission period, and it's not all the time. Whereas you look at White Wave Island, for example, and the admission period is always. So, yeah, you can check whether you can go there all the time. And, yeah, that's it for your dailies. Should be pretty easy and straightforward to get into. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of my favourite content in the game, PvP. So, PvP. Oh, I love it in this game. How does it work? Well, there's a few things you need to know about PvP. First of all, you don't play with the build you play in the open world. Nope, nope. You get to make your own build. It's like another free build. Using this thing called the Book of Coordination, which I'll show you in a sec. There's one keybind you need to know for PvP, and that is Alt-K. This brings up this little board, which will, like, just show you your indication of tier changes. Now, I haven't done any PvP this week, because I've been a slacker. You'll also be able to get bonus coins of courage every reset from just going onto that panel. Definitely worth checking it out every week. Then you come to a vendor, PvP vendor, and you can just buy stuff from the vendor. Like, okay, I've got some coins of courage here. Haven't bought from the vendor this week, so let's go and get my Great Honor Leap Stones. Woo! I'll sort the rest of that out after this video. And yeah, that's kind of like the profit you can make from PvP. Now, if you're actually getting into PvP itself, you can either click this entry board or this little Colosseum icon right underneath your minimap, bring it up, and you'll be faced with this panel. The first thing you'll do is come down and click Book of Coordination. Ignore recommended skill, it's stupid. You click it, and you'll be faced with this panel where you can drag abilities into the slots you want them. With your V skill being your awakening. To new players out there, you'll get this when you level up. The first one, pretty easy to get for a quest, short quest line. The second one is from a long quest line, but definitely worth doing. Even if the awakening isn't what you use in your build, you get a skill point potion for it, which means more damage in PvE scenarios. But yeah, so you sort out your build here. You do your triports here, so I'll be like, oh, add skill points, and then click, 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 and boom. How do I know what build to run? How do I know what stats to run? How do I know what abilities and triports I want? Well, personally, I have looked at the max roll PvP guide, and I've also consulted videos on YouTube from experts in my class, and that's how I learn, right, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to pick. And then I take that into PvP. Now, to queue for PvP, simply what you do is you'll click, for example, Team Deathmatch, and then click Queue for Match. It'll put you in a queue. Do not change zone. Otherwise, that can bug out the queue, and you'll be... Well, if it happens twice in a row, let me tell you, you'll be given a deserter debuff for about 20 minutes. You don't want that. So, yeah. That's how you get into PvP. Just a word of warning. Yeah, okay. You start PvPing, it's going to be rough. You're up against experienced players. But let me tell you, sit through it. Keep grinding. You've got it in you to win. You will win. If you persevere, you will love this aspect of the game. I'm telling you that now. It'll take you quite a few games just to kind of get used to everything. And if you really want to get into PvP, I strongly advise watching a proper PvP guide. This is not a proper PvP guide. This is just a beginner's guide. So definitely go and find some other channels out there that will tell you everything you need to know about PvP. Trust me. Do it. You will not regret it. Well, maybe you will. But that's besides the point. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you guys today is weeklies. So, weeklies. What are they? How do I do them? And what can I get from them? So first of all, I'm going to go back to Una's tasks. I said earlier, there are weekly Una tasks. You can just pick these up based on what you're doing. Oh, what's that? You're going to do 6 Chaos Dungeons in a week? Pick it up. Oh, I feel like doing a boss rush this week because I got the ticket. Pick up the quest. You can do weeklies for Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, The Cube, Boss Rush, Proving Grounds, Trade Skills, and Sailing. Personally, I'd always recommend doing maybe something like Chaos, Boss Rush, and Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds is PvP, as that will get you the most amount of leap stones from your weeklies. To begin with, it might be worth picking up some of the silver weekly quests, as that will contribute to your silver count. But also note, you'll get 12 points to your Una token generation. So yeah, weeklies are definitely worth doing and will get you those points very quickly. And speaking of it being a Tuesday as of recording, I am going to need to do a lot of weeklies today and all of my characters to fill this up. Which, yes, your alts do contribute to this. That's why I say pick it up on your main. It's roster bound. Bound to the server you're on. So, you know, it's once per roster. Like, all the progress is for one roster, not for one character. So bear that in mind. Now, the other most reputable form of weeklies is your Abyssal Dungeons raids and Legion raids. So Abyssal Dungeons, you'll see a panel like this. You know, what you want to do here is you want to click Find Party. Do not matchmake it, because it can go a bit risky. I mean, maybe tier 1 and tier 2 you can get away with matchmaking, but tier 3, always, 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 always matchmake it. Then you'll go here, all content. Let's say I want to do Iris Oculus, the 1325 one, and I only want normal difficulty because hard mode requires more item level, 1370. Let's pretend I don't have that item level yet. So I'd look at these groups and I'd say this and I'd be like, oh, okay, I want to join that. Send join request and boom, you're in. You might see something like both first. That'll mean, say for example, these tier 3 dungeons, he wants to do Iris Oculus and Areha Professor. Now, if you want to create your own group, you can click create lobby. Let's say, weekly clear, for example. You'll be like, yep, Abyssal Dungeon. Click the one you want. Yeah, I'll do Array as well. And then click the specific dungeon you want. So Array as well is a category, sorry. Be like, yeah, I want Iris Oculus normal. Minimum item level is going to be automatically set to the minimum item level for dungeon. But let's say you're doing both, then you would need 1340 because the second one requires that. And then, boom, create lobby, and people can join. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay in this lobby. I don't want people to see, oh my god, higher level player to boost me, let's go. But yeah, so that's how you do Abyssal Dungeons. The marker on the map is what you see here. It's like some little grey thing with a blue crystal in the middle. There we go. It might be a little bit clearer. See it there. And then when you get to tier 3, you're going to be introduced to Abyss Raids to start with. Boom. Here he is, the Great Argos. This is all we have in terms of Abyss Raids on NA and EU in the West. And what you want to do, same fashion, find party. Normally, the way you want to make your groups for just about all content in the game is 1 support per 4 players. So when you've got 4 people, one of those 4 people have to be a support. That's the easiest way to get through the game. You can run 4 DPS, but you might have to use your potions. Then yeah, this will be an 8-man group run. Your Abyss raid. As with most raids, I do believe in a future patch we're gonna get a Legion raid called Kaklusaden, who will require only 3 people. And yeah. Oh, and just real quick, the icon is very similar to the Guardian raid icon. It's just blue. So Abyss raid is a blue banner on your minimap. Now for Legion raids, it's kind of like some plasma ball globe looking thing on your map. And yeah, you get the choice of what Legion commander to fight based on what's been released in our region. So yeah, so I could do Volton. I'll do my find party and I'll do the gate. You can see the gate requirement here. And then when I'm done with Volton, I'll move on to Vicus. Oh, my queen, hello. And then yeah, you'll see a couple others up here. These just haven't been unlocked yet. But if there's one that is out in your region but you can't do, instead of seeing this screen, you'll see plastered over the top of it requires etc. item level. So if I put hard mode, that's what I'll see, and it won't let me go in. But you want to find party for all your Legion raids. And these weeklies are going to be what brings in your main gold income. You can also do stuff like life skills and sell the materials on the auction house. I'd strongly recommend doing life skills as you level to sell on the auction house when you get max level. So that will give you a nice gold base. But yeah, that really is it for my beginner's guide to Lost Ark. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to come drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, share it to your mates, and drop some comments down below. Especially, do not be afraid to ask me questions. I am so happy to answer anything, and if needs be, I can make more video guides to help you guys progress in this amazing game. And yeah, that really is it for today's video, guys. Have a great day, and yeah, I hope to see you in either the next video or maybe on the Twitch live stream. Peace.